Hey man, it's your boy JREAL back with another video, man. Today we live from the room, you know what I mean? We got that natural sunlight hitting and we got the 100K chart, you know what I mean? So I'm finna tell you guys exactly what this is about and what's going on here. I'm also gonna give you guys a tour of my image wall, basically my vision board, you know what I mean? So other than that, let's get to this chart, how to make one. First of all, what it is and all that stuff. So as you can see, this is a chart with a bunch of dollar signs, 1300 boxes, whatever you want to call it, but you're a little confused on what this is. So basically, this is basically my 100K chart. Pretty self-explanatory, but it's going to take me from, it's kind of fading, but negative 30,000 to plus $100,000 in net worth. Before I planned out this chart, before I made this chart, I looked at my financial situation and I said, dang, I'm kind of in a bind right now. I'm kind of stuck. What am I going to do about this? You know, how am I going to make the best out of my situation? And overall, where do I want to be at? Like, everybody wants to be young and have money, you know what I mean? But I actually internalized my situation and said, okay, what are some actionable steps that I can take about going and getting out of debt quick and having it come up quick, you know what I mean? In a sense of, like, it's not going to take 10 years. It takes sacrifice. It really does. And you guys know that, but I'm going to tell you how it relates to mine and the sacrifices that I go through. So, negative 30,000, okay? That's a big number. And at one point it was that amount. It was negative 30, okay? All that is just debt for my car and debt for my school. That's all it is. The car was about 13 grand and the school was about 17. You know what I mean? So, or it should be 30 exactly. But I had some grants, I had some student loans and things like that. So I think it came to around less. Right now the student debt is hovering around 13,000. So that's what I got those grants on. You know what I mean? But it's less than 30,000. The debt overall, when I looked at it, when I started this chart, was around 25,000. So I just put 30,000 to kind of over exaggerate it, keep it an even number. And, you know, it gave me, mentally, it kind of had me at a head start when I could check off these 3 boxes and go, okay, I'm already getting the ball rolling. You know what I mean? So I'm at negative 30,000. I am in debt as of now for my car and for my school. Okay. So that's what this 30,000 represents. It's only 25K, but I over exaggerated it just a little bit to, you know, to make it a little bit more dramatic. You know what I mean? Give me a little bit more of a boost and want to conquer this thing a little bit more. And for the sake of having 1300s on here. Okay. 100,000. Why do I have $100,000 as my goal, as what I'm trying to get to? Well, I want to be rich. No, of course, but like, everybody's trying to get some money out here. You know what I mean? And you have to look at your situation and go, what is that number that I want to be at? You know, at age 20, at age 21, at age 22, 23, 24, 25. What is that number that I want to be at? Me personally, by 23, 24, I want to be at 100K. I think that's a great mark. You know, there's a bunch of business guru kids on TikTok or Instagram or whatever that made $1 million by age 20 or whatever. I don't compare myself to those people because I find it super unrealistic, and I kind of think of myself as an average guy. So the average guy isn't going to start a $1 million business, you know, be 22 with $10 million like Iman Ghazi or somebody like that. You know what I mean? It's just not feasible. You know, somebody who lives more of a regular life. I think that's a good number, you know, and I think over the span of 3 years, that's a great number to achieve. But overall, my number personally was 100,000, and I personally want that by around age 23, 24, and I have the steps in place in order to conquer that goal. What I did was I took the negative 30,000, put an arrow shooting straight to that 100K, and I go, okay, what's the total of that? It's going to be $130,000. When do I want to have it done by? That's going to be, you know, probably 3 or 4 years is what I'm looking at personally. And so if I chop up 130,000 into something that I could save day by day, week by week, it's going to be 1,300 every 2 weeks. Okay, if I was on a bi-weekly pay system, which I'm not anymore, I'm on weekly now, it would be about 1,300 that I want to personally save every 2 weeks. So this means that each week I save $650. Now you have to, of course, be making more than $650 if you want to be able to save that much. It's kind of common sense, you know what I mean? But this is what this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do if you want it this bad, and this is what you have to save. So this was within 3 weeks of working there, or within 2 weeks. I crossed off a 650. I crossed off another 650, completing this 1,300 box. Therefore, if I do this week by week for about 3 years, and I just keep doing it, I keep doing it all these weeks, I will get to $100,000 net worth. Okay? So, you might be wondering, what are these pink boxes here? And why does it, why does it get to this point and it say this, whatever it says right here? This says out of debt. So therefore, if I save 1,300 this amount of weeks, I will get out of debt here. Everything after this box is positive. It's all positive. This right here is plus 1,300 in my bank account. This right here is plus 2,600 in my bank account. Then, what is it? 3,900 in my bank account, and it keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. So that's what that is. The pink represents the debt. Hence me coloring this number pink as well. It represents the debt. You know what I mean? So everything after being positive, that's a good situation to be in. But in order to do that, you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice not having spending money all this time, which is going to be me for the next 8 months. You know what I mean? I will not have spending money and money that I want to purchase on certain things for this amount of weeks. But that's the sacrifice that you got to take if you want to complete this chart on time. Now, you can also do this, which I really don't recommend. I recommend getting out of the debt as soon as possible. I'm not your financial advisor if I didn't say that already. This is my personal financial goal. But let's say I wanted to purchase a handgun. So I really been looking at the 1911, the Smith & Wesson or a Glock, whatever, or probably the FN. Besides the point, let's say the gun comes out to $1,300. And as you know, guns are an investment, and you don't really lose value on a gun if you keep it in pristine condition and things like that. If I get a gun, something that's an investment for $1,300, I'm just not going to be able to cross off this next box. So therefore, I have to go here. I can cross off this box, but I have to wait 2 weeks for this box. So it's going to be a delay in the time that I'm out of debt, which you have to see how important that is for you. You know what I mean? But I think I might do that. I think I might wait 2 weeks on a box coming up, and I might check off one of these because there's an investment there. There's something that is like, if I bought gold or silver or a gun and have this box crossed off, something that I know I'm keeping forever, I'm willing to have that delay in there. You just don't want to delay it too much. You know what I mean? Don't go a month, okay, with just keep buying guns as investments. Don't do that, because now that's a month that you're still in debt, which you don't want to be. Overall, though, this chart is a chart to get you out of debt and to have you with a positive net worth. You know what I mean? Now, also, these blue boxes right here, what are these? So this says reward every 13,000. So once I get this amount of 13,000 out of debt, that means like I'm halfway out of debt, I will reward myself. Rewards that are cheap, you know what I mean? Because you can't really afford to, especially these two, you can't really afford to be, having crazy rewards. But it might be something like, taking my credit card and going to California for the weekend, which I'm 6 hours away from Cali, so, might just have a fun 3-day, 4-day weekend in San Diego, Los Angeles, something like that. So this might be my reward for these two. Something slight, something to chill. But once you get out of debt, you can reward yourself higher. Make sure that it's not cutting into your savings, though. So, for example, right here might be, I might upgrade my camera to a Sony A7 Mark III. You know what I mean? I'm on this ZV-1 right now, but it's a more expensive camera, and so if I take it out on credit and I put it back, it's helping my credit score, but I'm not going too much into my savings, you know what I mean? And this is a long-term type of chart. So I'm playing this chart for about 3 years, and so if you want it to last longer, you can delay things like getting an investment here, or but you overall want to just get out of debt as soon as possible. So this is my goal, this is my plan. But like I said, for those rewards, you keep them short, you keep them sweet, And don't do too much, but acknowledge the fact that you've accomplished that thing. And that's really what I want to hammer in on with the rewards, because it's like, you know, most people don't do this. Most people are in debt for 40 years, and that's not the way to play it. We want to be out here free, financially free. You want to deserve your freedom. You don't, like I read in Rich Dad Poor Dad, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it was like, you don't deserve the newest item, you deserve your freedom. You know what I mean? You deserve your freedom, you know, and so if you work hard, it only makes sense that you would get out of debt. Like, that's what you're working for. You know, it doesn't make sense to go, okay, I worked super hard this week. Let me go and waste my money on something. Let me go just take all that hard work and spend it on something that is temporary. It doesn't make sense. And that's the shift in mindset that you got to have when you're trying to make a financial come up. That's really how you got to be thinking, you know what I mean? Which is the mindset that I have and the reason why I follow this board every week. So yeah, the rewards, keep them short, keep them sweet, whatever. But let's see where I'm at on this chart. Now I'm here. I've been at my new job for about 4 weeks now, okay? Each slash, when I put this box has only one slash, that means that I've only put $650 on it. So this week when I get paid, because I get paid weekly, I'll put another slash completing the 1,300 box, okay? It's not hard, you know what I mean? Another box will be complete though, once I put another $650 towards the debt. I've done it for 2 weeks here. That's why this box is complete. I put $650 last week. I'm going to put another $650. The week after that, I'm going to put one slash. The week after that week, I'll put another slash. And it continues. You know what I mean? So the time frame on my chart is going to be, I really want the debt. I want to be out of the debt in about 8 months. You know? And so I think if I save $650 from each week, I might save a little bit more to try to get me out of that debt faster. But we're looking at around 8 to 10 months to get out of debt. And you know, you might be like, oh, it's kind of a long time. I would want to get out of mine in maybe 6 or 7 months. That's cool. You just have to go harder on saving. So if I did 800, if I saved 800 every week and threw that debt each week, then I'll be out of it faster. I might be looking at getting out of debt around 6 to 7 months. You know what I mean? So it's all in how you play it. And I probably will save more, but right now I do need the money to catch up on certain bills and things like that when I was at my other job that wasn't really paying that well. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of playing that catch up game, but it is what it is. You know, so right now I'm only saving 650s and yeah, you know, soon I might do 800 and go through this chart quicker. But overall, this is my 100K chart, and this is what it's about. This is you know what it does. If you guys want to start one, all you have to do is take the amount of debt you're in, say let's say 20,000. You know, you throw 20,000 right here. What's the number you want to be at? 80,000. Okay, put the 80,000 right here. It's going to take time and hard work, of course, but this is more of an incentive that you can look at every day. So then you go, okay, I'm in debt 20,000. I want to be at 80,000. For the reason of, you know, you could put that into early retirement. You could put it for a down payment on a house. You have lower mortgage payments or something like that. You could just want that amount of money for a Hellcat. It doesn't matter. But whatever you want that number to be, you take the two, you add them up, and you say, okay, how can I move towards this amount on a weekly basis? If you get paid bi-weekly, you do it on a bi-weekly basis. So then you go, okay, I overall need to make $100,000. Therefore, I put 1,000 for each box. Therefore, I put 1,000 for each box. So each box would say 1,000, and you'd have 100 boxes. Then you would get to your 80,000. You know what I mean? You'd be clear out of your debt. You'd be plus 80,000. That's just how this thing works. It's super simple. I suggest everybody make one. But you really got to look at your financial situation. Maybe talk to an advisor about what you guys should do for your own situation. My main thing is I want to get out of debt. I want to be in a positive net worth, you know, coming up around 3 years from now. I want to have that bag. I want to have that bag. You know what I mean? But that's what I want to do, man. I want to be at this amount. I think I could do it with time, hard work, and consistency. I just got to keep saving those 650s. You know what I mean? And if I put more money into it, I could get there faster. If I put less money, you know, if I delay it, it still might be a positive because I still might have an investment. You know what I mean? But overall, the things you need to have for this, you need to have a high paying job. You need to work a lot of hours, and not everybody's built for that. You know what I mean? Some people, they want to enjoy life right now. They want to do 40 hours a week. That's fine. Just know that I'm going to get there quicker because I work 60 hours and I have a trade. You know, all these things, they play a role into you know, how fast somebody can be successful. You know, you got to keep that in mind really when you look at social media and you compare yourself to others, because I like having social media to kind of get me from being lazy. You know, if I see my competition out there working much harder than me, and they're out there in the dating market and they check all these boxes like, oh, the dude is athletic, he has money, he can speak different languages, he's multi-skilled. If I see a dude like that, you know, and he has more options than me, and he has the more rewards of life that I want, I'm going to compare myself a little bit, but that's going to overall make me work harder when you see your competition out there doing what you want to do. The thing is, when you see social media on a daily basis, that can tweak with your head a little bit. I'm not going to lie, because I can't have social media every day. I really can't, dude. I can't see that every day and go back to my job and be happy with my life. I just can't do it. Therefore, I have social media once a week, and throughout the week, I'm looking at this and going, okay, this is my journey, this is my path, this is what I'm doing. Always keep your own mission in mind, but don't be afraid to have those comparisons, but don't compare yourself too much, because that's when, you know, you start to gain that mental illness and things like that. Overall, man, you know, look at your situation, look at where you want to be, add the difference, and break it down on a daily basis. This is common sense. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not in a position to do this, that might be tough, but you could work something out. You know, if you're a grown, able-bodied adult, you know, you got to kind of work with your own situation. You got to figure out what you want to do. This chart could take you 10 years. It could take you 5 years. It could take you 1 year. You know, it's all up to you. I've set things in my place to where I could have this thing done in 3 years. I live with my parents. I'm trying to own my car. I don't want the newest car. I'm only taking on debt for school and the car, two things that I need. I don't spend a lot. I don't buy a lot of clothes. If anything, I might just go out to eat. Like, I might just buy fast food a lot. That's because I'm always on the road. But you need to find your own lifestyle. You need to make it work for your own situation. But just go with the same method. Take where you're at. Take where you want to be. Add the difference. Break it down on a weekly basis. You know what I mean? And you know, having it up here, having it like screwed into the wall, I look at this thing every day, and it just reassures me that it's my own mission, you know, and it's what I'm doing. So, yeah, man, I suggest and advise everybody make a chart like this. Have something that you look at every day to motivate you. You know what I mean? Overall, this is my chart, though. This is where I'm going to be at in 3 years, and this is what I'm talking about when I say I'm on my grind, and it's what I do it for, man. Other than that, I'm going to give you guys a look at my vision board. All right, guys, this is my vision board, man. It's what I look at every single day, and it's basically just printouts of, you know, my mindset and what I want in my life. So right here, we got that Dodge Demon, man. I kind of made this a long time ago. I was about 18, so there's a lot of stuff on here that's a little bit cringy, but it's all good, man. We got Tuesday flexing the 50s right there, man. Just a goal, you know what I mean? My boy had posted this picture. Do whatever makes you happy. You know, I kind of live by that every day. Got this Jordan Belfort quote. It says, the only thing standing between you and your goal is the BS story that you keep telling yourself as to why you can't achieve it. Jordan Belfort, love that. We got a Nipsey quote. He said, ain't no point in arguing with a MF that don't see nothing wrong with they doing. Right here, we got we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Something to keep my mind open, you know what I mean? CJ So Cool's earnings, it's goals right there. You know, if you're trying to be a YouTuber, it's just something to look at and realize that people do have situations like this on a daily basis. And this is how, you know, people operate and what's in their bank account and what's going on in their day, and just keep an open mind about things like that, you know. I just kind of want to look like this, you know, when I do get my money, when I am flexed up, you know, and some skills, you know, and got the Elon Musk right there, you know, and 5 hobbies. Love this. We love that. Great mindset to have, but you know, it's kind of how the poor and rich operate. Nobody cares about your success and how to be rich on a budget, you know what I mean? But this is over on my vision board and that. This is my window, man. Yeah, so might need to blur out that phone number. I actually been to both of these houses. It was an open house down in Scottsdale, Arizona, but yeah, man. This is what I look at every day, bro. This type of stuff I write on my wall. You could say it's weird, you could say it's cringy, but you know, that wall took you know, it took years to make it look like that. Other than that, guys, that's my 100K chart. That's how to make one, how to go about using one, you know. But yeah, I want you guys to stay on the grind, stay on your purpose, man. Stay focused and get to that bag, fool. Other than that, JRealNice out.